Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of FatBoi Cooking. On today's episode, we're making Giardiniera, whichever way you want to pronounce it. I'm gonna go with Giardiniera. A delicious mix of vegetables that are pickled that add a little zingy zang to any dish. Alright, enough of this intro. Let's get cooking. Here are the basic ingredients. 1 white onion, 2 stalks of celery, 2 medium carrots. I'm using 3 because they were smaller than what I wanted. 4 cloves of garlic, 6 serrano peppers. If you're looking to make a mild version, do not add the serranos. 1 red bell pepper, kosher salt, red pepper flake, dried oregano, white wine vinegar. You can use just regular white vinegar if you please. Extra virgin olive oil, and black pepper, which I forgot to take a picture of. Starting with the onion, we're just going to make a cut right down the middle. Leaving the root end, I cut the tip of the onions off. I then peel the onion, making sure to clean up all the little scraps on the board as well. Now it's time to dice. Start by making cuts that are 1/4 of an inch away from each other. Get as close as you can to the root, but do not cut through it. Turn the onion around and dice it. Each cut should be 1/4 of an inch. I start to break the celery down by cutting it in half. The stalks that I had were very thick boys, so I had to make a few cuts down the middle. I then cut those to 1/4 of an inch dice. Moving on to the carrots, make sure you peel them. I then cut off the top and the tip of the carrot to make it more uniform. Make a cut down the middle of the carrot, and then cut down the middle of each half. And you guessed it, making 1/4 of an inch dice. Cut off the top and bottom of your bell pepper. Make a vertical cut down the middle. Pull out the core and seeds. Glide your knife around the inside of the pepper to cut off all the white stuff. Make julienne cuts all the way down the pepper. And then dice at 1/4 of an inch. Starting with the serrano peppers, cut off the top and bottom and then slice down the middle. Cut each half down the middle again, and then dice into small pieces. Add the peppers to the bowl of all your other vegetables. Add 1/4 cup of kosher salt. Then add enough cold water to cover the vegetables. Next, stir briefly to dissolve all the salt. Cover with plastic wrap and let sit in the refrigerator for 24 hours. This is going to brine our vegetables. After waiting 24 hours, dump the contents of your bowl into a strainer. I am using a fine mesh one to make sure I don't lose anything. Using cold water, start to rinse off your vegetables. Shake it a bit for a more thorough rinse. Just make sure you don't accidentally spill some out in the sink. So now you're probably like, hold up, Why did I just waste 24 hours just to go ahead and wash my vegetables in the sink? Well, let me lay down some facts. The brine solution is going to draw moisture out of the vegetables. This is going to help them stay crisp in the marinade that we're about to make. The salt also penetrates to add seasoning. Running under cold water only helps to rinse off any excess salt that might be left on the vegetables. Too much salt? No bueno. In a separate mixing bowl, start by adding 1 tablespoon of dried oregano, followed by 1 tablespoon of red pepper flake, and then 1 tablespoon of black pepper. Add in 1 cup of white wine vinegar, and then add 1 cup of olive oil. Microplane 4 cloves of garlic. Start to whisk all the ingredients together. Pour the marinade into the bowl of your rinsed vegetables. Then mix everything together, making sure everyone gets to know each other. Then cover with more plastic wrap. This is then going to go in the fridge for 3 days to start the marinating/pickling process. 3 days sounds like a long time, but trust me, it's worth it. This stuff is only going to get better the longer it sits, too. Now it's time to add our giardiniera to proper storage containers. I'm going to start by spooning the vegetable mix into my mason jar. Fill the jar up to the neck. Top off the jars with the remaining marinade. You may notice some cloudiness in the jars. This is okay and is completely normal. Cloudiness is caused by the oil solidifying. Before serving, I recommend letting the giardiniera sit at room temp. This allows the oil to come back to the right consistency. Apply the seal and screw on the lid. I'm not going to worry about properly sealing these cans as I'm going to use this stuff pretty quick. If you're going to store this stuff for a long time, I recommend following the proper canning procedures. This should last me about 2 weeks, keeping it refrigerated. Giardiniera has many purposes, from subs to pizzas to burgers, pasta salads, but what I like it on? Hot dogs. So there you have it, homemade giardiniera. It wasn't so bad, was it? You're never gonna wanna buy store-bought stuff again. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.